Engage, enlighten, empower.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Create More Business Now Live. I am your host, Roderick Ferrier. Today's special guest is Adam Dudley. Adam is an author, a mentor, a solopreneur, and an explorer of all things and places that are of interest to him. And like most solo business professionals, he has endured his share of disappointments and setbacks and has found himself focusing on the wrong things. He has made plenty of adjustments along the way, though, and now helps others build high-performing solo businesses, enrich lives while moving obstacles and avoiding mistakes. Adam's work experience is as varied as his education. After graduating from college, he worked for the YMCA doing fitness and wellness administration and client services. In 2002, he left the Y and went on to build several fitness businesses of his own, eventually employing personal trainers and a yoga teacher and taking up a management role. And in 2005, he left the fitness profession for good. Adam became the first entrepreneur in his family and gained the invaluable mentorship of several high net worth individuals. During his career, Adam has formed over a dozen businesses, raised $740,000 in funding from angel investors, and helped countless solo and small business owners move towards their vision and goal with more ease, speed, and certainty. I am super excited to be interviewing Adam as November is National Entrepreneur Month, and on November 15th, we observe National Entrepreneur Day. And Adam has recently published a new book and has been kind enough to share his story and knowledge with us. Adam, welcome, and thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks so much for having me, Rod. I'm excited to be here, and I appreciate you having me on.
Good deal. Well, let's just go ahead and jump right in, Adam. What is the name of your book, and what is it about?
My book is called Clarity for Solos, Secrets and Strategies for More Focus, Momentum, and Meaning in Your One-Person Small Business. And Rod, this book is basically about all of the secrets and strategies I've learned in my 14 plus years as an entrepreneur and also in mentoring entrepreneurs. And I really wrote it for the bold solo and small business owners that I work with, because I've been coaching one-on-one for quite a number of years, and I decided that I wanted to reach a larger audience with my message and hopefully affect more people positively. So that's why I wrote the book, and it's all about overcoming that persistent sense of overwhelm that I've discovered a lot of solo and small business owners have, and it's the marketing, the productivity, and the business management secrets and strategies that I've picked up over the years that I currently share in my one-on-one relationships.
Good deal. So, Adam, what is one of your favorite strategies or secrets from the book?
That's a great question, Rob. Well, I would have to say that one of my favorites, and it's a simple thing, but it's also very powerful, and it's the productivity and time management strategy that out of all others, all of the many strategies that I've tested and used myself and with my clients over the years, it's the only one that I keep returning to over and over again and do every single day without fail. And that strategy is to simply plan what you're going to do the night before a work day. So at the end of each work day, I plan what I'm going to do the following work day. And it just seems to do something in your subconscious, and you wake up, you're not thinking about what you need to do that day. You've already thought about it the night before. And that little strategy alone makes a huge difference in my work life and also the lives of the people I work with.
So how did you...
I describe that in detail in the book. There's more parts to it, but it's in detail in the book.
Okay. Well, I'm curious, Adam, how did you come to do what it is that you're doing today?
That's another great question. Well, I'm actually, you could call me the accidental business coach, because because it was actually my first business coaching client, who actually happens to be probably my most superstar client. Her name is Leslie, and she was a yoga teacher at the yoga studio that my wife and I had been practicing at for quite a while. And she was actually the first one to approach me about coaching her to help her launch a business. And she had just heard through the grapevine that I was a successful entrepreneur, had built multiple businesses, and she approached me and asked me if, she told me what she was doing. She wanted to start a coaching business and asked me if I could help her. And I said, yeah, I'm sure I could. And so it started with that one client that approached me, and then others came through referral. And I found I really loved the work, and I was making an impact and a difference in the lives of these solo and small business owners I was working with. So it kind of became addictive.
Yeah, I can see that. And, like most entrepreneurs, a lot of times things like this do happen by, we'll call happen chance, or, just by accident, if you will. And, I understand that, you help, these solopreneurs take years off the time that it would normally take them to achieve their goals. So what can you help clarify that? What does this mean, and kind of how do you do it?
Sure. Great question. So basically, because I have been there and done that, and started so many businesses and had so many mentors, and quite frankly made many mistakes along the way, I immediately found that in these one-on-one mentoring relationships with other solo and small business owners, that I could quickly and easily fill in the gaps in terms of clarity they were lacking, or skills, or resources, or plans. And by filling in those gaps, it allowed them to travel towards their vision and goals much more efficiently than they would have otherwise. And in some cases, in 3 months, we would accomplish more than they'd achieved in the last 3 years.
So what is so special about the solopreneurs that you work with? Is there one thing in common, one defining characteristic that they have?
There is actually, and there's actually a whole chapter devoted to this in the book, and I call it chutzpah. And that's just another way of saying that all of the solo and small business owners I've had the good fortune to work with and make a big difference with, all of them have this sense of being bold and daring and courageous, and most importantly, I think, resilient. I think resilience is a critical quality that entrepreneurs have to possess to overcome setbacks and disappointments and obstacles. And all of the business owners that I've worked with who have done the best in working with me in my programs have possessed that quality of chutzpah, or boldness, or courageousness, however you want to think of it.
Okay, and what are, on the same line, what are some common errors that writers make when starting and building businesses?
Well, the most common mistakes I see in building businesses in my work is that I think that a big one, and I talk about this a lot, I mentioned it a few times throughout the book, is failing to begin with the end in mind, and not having a clear vision for what you want to create in your business, and as a result in your life when you start a new business venture. And one of my favorite quotes about this is from Stephen Covey, the late Stephen Covey, of the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, and he said that you have to begin with the end in mind, otherwise you might end up climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. And I've seen that a lot, where people start building a business and they haven't clarified their vision for what they want that business to look like 3 and 5 years down the road. and you can actually end up creating a monster that you might not be so excited about. So the first step in all of my relationships is to get total clarity on what someone wants to create for their business and their life.
Okay. What is it that you most enjoy about what you do? I know helping people, and you and I had this discussion. You are more of a giver, and I'm just curious as you give back. What do you find that just gets you up every morning, and what do you most enjoy about what you get to do every day?
As you said, Rod, I'm definitely a helper by nature, and so it's the excitement that I get when I work with these solo and small business owners, and I'm able to fill in those gaps in clarity, knowledge, skills, or resources. And what's most exciting is when that aha moment happens, and you've been able to provide some enlightenment. And when I get that feedback about what the work we do together is so enlightening, and it's helping me get to where I want to go and really create my dreams, that's extremely fulfilling to me.
Awesome. Now, are there any people or books that have given you some inspiration along your journey?
There have been many books, Rod. I'm a huge reader. I read probably. I don't know. I used to read probably one book a week when I was just starting out. But I would tell you some books recently that have had a major impact in how I approach my own work and help others as well. Is a book called Traction by Gino Wickman, and that book really explains what I would call a light strategic planning and management system that's really appropriate not only for larger small businesses, but even for solopreneurs and very small businesses. And I love that book because it's any book that really has an enlightening feel to it, and with a lot of aha moments. I really enjoy that. So that book has inspired me a lot over the past 5 years or so.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And again, the name of the book is Traction?
Traction, correct, by Gino Wickman.
All right. Can you share something, Adam, that people may be surprised to learn about you?
I think they'd be surprised to find out that in another part of my life, I am a house music DJ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I actually have a well-followed web radio show that's consistently in the top 10, and I also currently have local engagements here in Central Florida where I live. So it's a passion that I discovered in my late teens, and I was a DJ in college, and it's continued to be an interest for me. It's sort of another version of helping people. I help people have a good time and blow off steam after work and that kind of thing. So it's just another part of who I am and what I do.
That is very interesting. Thanks for sharing. So, Adam, what's next? I mean, we have this book that you have coming out here on National Entrepreneurs Day on November 15th. And it's available, for pre-order on Amazon. What's next for you?
I would like to mention, Rod, that when I published the book, when I finished it, I shortly thereafter decided that I wanted to do something more with it than just, sell it. I wanted to affect something positive in addition to the content of the book and how that will help people. So I immediately came up with the idea of potentially partnering with a microfinance organization. And for your listeners that might not know what microfinance is, it's a industry here in the U.S. and I think outside of the U.S. too. And basically, there's several organizations, and they believe that entrepreneurship can alleviate poverty. And so what they do is through what they call microfinance, they make funding available to entrepreneurs in various communities for them to start businesses. And they usually do this through crowdfunding or through donations. And so one of the leaders in this field is called Kiva, and that's kiva.org. Kiva. And so I decided to partner with Kiva, and in the month of November, which as we said at the beginning, which is National Entrepreneurs Month, I'm going to be contributing a portion of my book sales to Kiva so that other entrepreneurs can get their businesses and fund it off the ground. And I call this campaign Buy a Book, Fund a Business.
That's awesome. That's awesome, giving back. And, guys, this is the information in the book. And, Adam, thank you for the copy of the book. There's some very helpful information. And as Adam, as we part here, if there's one nugget, one piece of wisdom that you would, like to share with, listeners who, are entrepreneurs, and I've built, this is my third business, and it's a challenge. You have to have the mindset for it. But what is, a nugget of wisdom, some words of encouragement that you could, share with those who are listening today, who are building their business or continuing to grow their business?
Well, Rod, I think that I would rewind a little bit to what I was talking about earlier, which is begin with the end in mind. I truly believe that the more clarity you have about your vision and goals, not only for your business but also for your life, I believe that if we have clarity about those things, we are really compelled and pulled towards achieving them. It's a simple metaphor, but how can you expect to hit a target that you can't see clearly? So I would encourage everybody listening to, if you haven't in a while, take some time out, go somewhere quiet, somewhere perhaps out in nature where you can really relax and think and really spend some time visioning what you want for your business and life, and make sure that your actions every day are getting you closer to that vision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, would you share with our listeners as we part? You see here you have some contact information here. Let their listeners know the best way and how they can contact you.
Absolutely. So my homepage is www.adamdudley.me. Everything there about me and what I'm up to is on that website. In addition, if there are any very bold and committed solo and small business owners listening, you may wish to go and check out my Deliver Your Vision program, which is www.deliveryourvision.com. This is a core offering and a structured approach to achieving your goals and delivering your vision, as I say. And you can also call me at 407-504-ADAM, and you can email me hi@adamdudley.me.
Well, awesome. Adam, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to share this information with their listeners. And guys, make sure to go over to Amazon and pick up a pre-order copy of the book as it comes out and released on November 15th. Until next time, God bless.